The show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, CaneSport. It's the 3rd of October, 2025. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com. Once again, joined this morning by our managing editor, Matt Shodell, or shall we call him Chief Osceola himself, as we discuss the news of the day. And so, Matt, I was doing the Lamar Thomas show Wednesday night, and he was telling me about how the old days where the Miami players, you know, they were going to go out there and they were going to throw Chief Osceola right off that horse before one of the Miami FSU games. But when they got out there and they realized that he had a spear in his hand, they decided that they might have better activities to do before a Miami FSU game. So Chief Osceola did not get knocked off the horse, but it just conjured up images for me when I visualized Chief Osceola with the war paint on his face and the spear in his hand out there parading around Campbell Stadium. I'm like, damn, that guy looks like Matt Shodell. And I started like picturing you with the paint on your face. And I mean, it's like you walk around with a damn spear every day anyway, quite honestly, the way you disrespect people and freaking, go at people and with your negativity and everything else. So I don't know. It made me think of you, and I wondered if you, back in your prior existence, might have been Chief Osceola. But anyway, this weekend we got to deal with the real Chief Osceola out there, the pageantry that comes with Miami, Florida State. And man, it's exciting. You know, I'm seeing a lot of the prognostications around the country. Some people think Florida State is going to win this game, and the line is down to 4.5 points, and which suggests a relatively close game. And I'm seeing over-unders from Vegas projecting an over-under of about 55 points. So that means everybody thinks this is going to be a tight game that could go either way, with a lot of offense. And you've spent a good part of this week studying Florida State. You obviously know Miami. So it pains me to say this, but maybe no better person than you to turn to here on Friday morning and tell us what is going to happen tomorrow night when Miami rolls into Campbell Stadium to play Florida State.
That was my Shedeur Sanders impersonation. Look, you say I look like Chief Osceola. I mean, I don't want to say this out loud, but a lot of people have been telling me that you look like Sebastian the Ibis. So, like, whatever. In terms of the game tomorrow night, I predicted a 34-31 Miami win. This is one of those games. You know, my son calls me. He says, "Who should I bet on?" Like, I'm going to tell him to bet. I mean, who tells their child to bet? So, of course, I told him who to bet on. But I do not recommend taking anything I say and betting on it. People on the message board say they've placed bets based on what I'm saying. Are you insane? I mean, seriously?
Wait, you didn't tell your son to take the points. Tell me you didn't.
I didn't tell my son to bet. I'm not going to tell my son to bet, period. Betting's bad. He barely makes any money. What's he going to? My other son, I gave him like $100 as a gift, and he put it all on red on a roulette spin in Oklahoma. I mean, this is what we're dealing with, the next generation. I don't understand it. They just want to make money on Hard Rock apps, and they're upset when they're out of state, and they call me to put their bets on the Hard Rock app for them. And they're like, no, you have to do these 6 different bets all in some parlays. I don't even know how to do it. I can barely work my phone, just making a phone call, let alone anything else. But that's all true. All that is true. I mean, I'm not making any of that up. But in terms of this game, here's just what I see. Again, do not bet on this. Do not come to my house complaining that I owe you money because you lost your bets. But this is what I see. I think the Florida State defense is bad, and I think the Florida State offense is really good. I think the Miami offense is good enough, and I think the Miami defense is vastly improved from last year. But with all that said, I still am in show-me mode for both sides of the ball for Miami in some respects, right? Carson Beck didn't look great last game. Yeah, it was wet. You can use a million excuses, okay? You could say they beat Notre Dame. You could say they beat USF. You could say they beat Florida. Those 3 teams, Notre Dame was the best of the 3, is the best of the 3 in my opinion, but their quarterback was awful in that first game. Like I said in previous things, I mean, it's just a fact. Guys were open down the field, and he missed them, clearly missed them. He missed guys on screen passes where they were just standing there. Like, he was just first game jitters, whatever you want to call it, and he's been great ever since. And they lost the game since then. But I still want to see Miami's defense have that complete game. They need to have it this week, because if not, it's going to be, like I said, a shootout, a 34-31 shootout. The reason it would not be a shootout is if Corey Heatherman finds a way to make Castellanos win the game through the air. If they can figure out a way to keep him in his pass lanes, okay, keep him from, in other words, keep him from scrambling outside the tackles. If they can keep it in the tackle box, okay, period.
Yeah,
that's a victory. Okay, that's a massive victory. And we'll know early on if Miami's able to do that, because this is really on Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor. Because if Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor are selfish players, which I don't think they are, but if they are selfish players, you're going to see them coming like this into where the quarterback normally is standing. What they need to do is come like this, okay, and let the tackles get pushed inside and not try to get massive numbers of sacks and TFLs on the running back, on draws, things like that. The massive key in this game is to keep that dude inside the pocket and make him throw the damn ball. Okay? You got a couple of good linebackers that can help in run support when they do hand the ball off to those two physical running backs, right? Torrey has been good, and another massive key is Wesley Bissainthe. Okay? The defensive ends, keep in leverage, and Wesley Bissainthe, it's hard to say an S and a TH in the same sentence for some reason. Say it 10 times fast. Bissainthe. But Wesley Bissainthe is the massive key on defense also. Those two ends and Bissainthe. Because if you watch what FSU's done to opposing middle linebackers all season, the goal of that offensive system is to make the middle linebacker stand still. And I literally showed you guys clips earlier in the week of what they've done to other opposing middle linebackers, where the play is literally running a yard next to that middle linebacker, and he doesn't move the entire time because he's watching pre-snap motion. Then he's watching an RPO plus a fake pitch to a back to a receiver on an end around, and then the play winds up a quarterback draw up the middle, and he just stands there looking around the whole time, and the ball's past him before he even realizes what happened. That can't happen. And I asked Wesley Bissainthe about eye discipline and all that. He seems to get it, but will he be that impact guy remains a question, because he's started a lot of games here at Miami, and we keep saying, Wesley Bissainthe has so much potential. But how many game-changing plays has he made in all these starts that he's had? Not a lot. Like, he's been good enough. I'm not trying to diss on him. I love the guy. He's a great person, great player.
You're 100% correct, though.
But game-changing plays, right? That's what we need from the middle linebacker in this game.
Like what Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor do.
Correct. Yeah. This is Wesley Bissaithe's game, period. If he fails, if he falters, it trickles down to the safeties, it trickles up to the defensive tackles, and it's going to look bad. Okay, this is a Wesley Bissainthe game on defense and a defensive end game on defense. I'm confident the defensive ends will do what they're supposed to and not converge on the quarterback, except on 3rd and 8 plus, 3rd and 7 plus. Okay, then you can do that. Until then, set the edge and do not let that guy get outside the pocket. Period. Okay, and on offense for Miami, I think this actually happens to be a great matchup for Miami, because I think the FSU defense is vastly overrated, even though they're not ranked real high. They're 45th, 50th, somewhere in there in total defense, scoring defense, or maybe even 30th, whatever. But they've played two just awful teams. I mean, awful teams that have skewed that. And FSU's defense was bad last year. I don't think it's that much upgraded this year. I think Miami's going to score a lot of points. The only caveat there is Miami good enough on offense? Because I think FSU clearly is not a great defense, to me, having watched the tape, okay? But the question mark remains, is Miami a great offense? And that question I don't think has been answered yet. Like, I just don't. So that's why I'm sort of see a 3-point win for Miami in a somewhat high-scoring game. And again, we're going to learn a lot more about this team. We're in game 5, right? It's okay to say we don't know everything yet. I know fans want to have answers. Fans want me to sit here and say, oh, Miami is such a great team. They're ranked 2nd. Their offense is great. Their defense is great. We're going to blow out Florida State. I know fans want me to say that. But I just say what I see so far through 4 games. After this game, I'll have another opinion. And it might be the same exact one I'm saying now. Or it might be worse, or it might be better. But you learn things. And the key for a human being is to take data inputs like you're a robot, process them, and then make a realignment based on what you see and know at that point. And for fans to sit here and be like, oh, Shodell doesn't understand the team. Like, this is just the facts of what we've seen so far. From what I've seen on tape, you guys can be fans. That's what a fan does, right? You assume everything's always great and amazing, and like the roulette wheel is going to land on red and you didn't lose your $100, unlike my son. But it doesn't always work that way. Okay. So as we sit here right now, this is, I think, a very objective, fair opinion of where things stand for both these programs. If you watched the tape heading into tomorrow.
All right, let me try to decode what you're saying for everybody. I think it can be summed up.
Is that complicated? I mean, it needs to be decoded. What is it? Did I give a cipher?
You did. You gave a little. You gave a little bit of I don't know what the right word is. I tell you, whatever. But anyway, let me just decode it for everybody and narrow it down into a single bullet point. What Matt Shodell wants to see is that the Miami offense can do more than simply play bully ball. Okay. It's time. I mean, we've seen people calling for this, but if Miami
is not what I said, by the way, but okay.
That's what you're saying, because listen,
you're improvising.
I'm improvising, but let's be real here. Like,
not my bullet point, that's your bullet point, just so we know. I mean,
what's the guy's name? White, the defensive coordinator. James White, Ted White, whatever his name is.
Tony White, yeah.
Tony White. All right. Guy's not a moron. Okay. Like he's a pretty well-respected defensive coordinator. He's got his, exotic looks and stuff, the 3-3-5 everybody talks about, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter because he's not playing a 3-3. He's not going to be able to
play. Say he runs a 110. He's still putting 4 or 5 guys on the line a lot of times.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell he's lining up with 6 guys in the box against Miami and allowing the Canes to come in there and steamroll the Knolls. If they're going to come in and steamroll the Knolls, they're going to have to bowling ball over at least 8, in my opinion, on most plays. Like, you can't play Miami and not stop the run. Okay, so Florida State is going to load up to stop the run. Are they physically capable of that? We won't know until kickoff. Okay, because you can look at all the film and everything all you want. It didn't look so great against Virginia, in terms of the strength up front. But you got to assume he's going to, do what he feels he needs to do to control the Miami running game. So to accomplish their goals, and not just in this game, everybody's going to do the same now. You got 4 games of tape. They see what's been going on. You got the offensive line kicking the crap out of people. You got the running backs running really hard and physical. You got the Miami tush push going, where, linemen literally circle around to the back of the play and are pushing the pile forward, and they're getting an enormous amount of extra yards in that regard. So listen, everybody who plays Miami is going to be thinking we have to stop the running game. That means the passing game needs to be good, okay? And that means that the handcuffs have to come off. You got to start throwing the ball to Elijah Lofton more. You got to start throwing the ball to the running backs more. And you got to get production out of the receivers, which they have shown us at times they could. Malachi Toney has been sensational in a few games. He's going to have to be sensational on Saturday in Tallahassee. CJ Daniels is going to have to be very, very good again. He has been, dropped a couple balls, but he needs to be sensational again. And then I'm going to look at the wild card, okay? And that is what is the expected return of JoJo Trader, okay? JoJo Trader, I hope you're watching this morning's show, okay? Because this is a very important moment for you, okay? You played high school ball in the shadow of Jeremiah Smith. A lot of people thought you were an equal contributor there and were an equal type player to Jeremiah. Jeremiah has gone off to Ohio State and done great things. You've come to Miami and have really done nothing yet. Now, it's not your fault. You had some injuries you've been fighting through and things like that. You've had a month now, hopefully, to get healthy. The word is you're coming back this week. Okay, it's asking a lot. It's Florida State in Tallahassee. JoJo, this is your moment. Matt, I think to win this game, Miami's got to be able to get the ball to JoJo Trader 4 or 5 times. He has to give them a threat down the field to open up space underneath. So if you're sucking up the linebackers and defensive linemen and safeties to stop the run, and you can effectively use play action, there should be a lot of space in the next layer of the defense. And Miami on Saturday night, to me, needs to be able to exploit that. And I saw a comment, I think, from Shannon Dawson about, respect your checkdowns or something like that. Carson Beck needs to respect his checkdowns because there are going to be guys open. Okay. He just has to be able to see them and find them. And really, really, really interesting subplot to the game, Matt. But I do agree with you, and I'm looking for the same thing. I want the Miami offense to prove itself the way we haven't seen since the first half of this Notre Dame game, really. First half of the Notre Dame game, they were throwing the ball, running the ball. Everything looked great. Then they went into a shell in the second half. Bethune's a throwout. South Florida, they were decent against Florida in those wet conditions and stuff. They really didn't show their full firepower. Want to see the real firepower of the Miami offense on Saturday night. You have a quarterback that can deliver the football. I'd like to see Shannon Dawson be a little more aggressive in this game. They go into these games feeling that they are superior to the opponents. And I think the reason they get conservative is they don't want to do something to screw it up and take a victory off their ledger that, due to an interception or two that, gives other teams scoring opportunities that they wouldn't normally have. I get all that, but this is a good offensive team that you're playing on Saturday night. I think they're going to need to score points, Matt. So I'm all behind what you're saying, and I'm looking for similar things from the Miami offense. Defensively, it's all about, listen, they're swarming to the ball great. We know the secondary is improved. They have to avoid the mistakes in coverage that they've had earlier this season on those few incidences where they gave up big plays. And then they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Just swarm the ball. Don't let Castellanos running around. I think the defense will be able to contain them at a reasonable level if they're able to do that.
All right, my turn. So the best defensive coordinators take away what you do best, but you have to have the personnel to do it. So what Tony White's going to want to try to do is take away the middle of the field in the run game and in the pass game, because that's honestly 70 to 80% of Miami's entire offense under Shannon Dawson, even looking back at last year. That's where he attacks you, and that's where he's been really successful. Now, it's easier said than done to stop that, but it'll be really interesting to see, like you mentioned JoJo Trader, right, which is what I'm getting to. You have to, as an offensive coordinator in a game like this, on the road, first game on the road this year, right, against a team that's probably pretty good, if you want to strike fear into the defense coordinator's heart from the start of the game and cause confusion based on probably what their defensive game plan is going to be, because it's pretty easy to figure out their defensive game plan is going to be to take away the middle of the field and the run game, right, the up the gut runs, and then to slow down Malachi Toney. Like, that's going to be their game plan, right? Malachi's the one who's catching the ball over the middle all the time. They're going to try to force Carson Beck to throw the ball to the outside. And there'll be one-on-one coverage opportunities, probably starting pretty early in the game, which is why I agree with you. Like a guy like JoJo Trader, a guy like even Keelan Marion or CJ Daniels, somebody, even Moore, right? Josh Moore is a guy who could do this. They need to take some shots early in the game, in my opinion, on the outside edges of the field, because if Tony White's this great defense coordinator, like you say he is, he's going to try to take Miami out of doing what it likes to do. And I think if Miami's good enough, right, if Miami wants to be a national championship caliber team, you have to be able to do more than one thing. You have to be able to do more than just attack the middle of the field constantly, okay, even if you're really good at that, because that forces other defenses to respect it. And whether that's now or in the championship game against Ohio State, you need to make that defense recognize that we can't just stop one thing, right? Because there will be a team at some point that stops it, right? That's good enough at defensive tackle, at middle linebacker, at safety, to stop the up the middle of the field attack. And it would be nice to see now rather than later that, hey, Shannon Dawson understands that he needs to get his outside receivers involved from the beginning of the game. Miami can get the ball to the perimeter and attack on the perimeter successfully time after time after time because the other team's stacking the middle of the box to stop the run up the middle. Like, that would be nice to see. And I think, I keep saying it, Elijah Lofton is a secret weapon in this game. I still think he's going to have 5+ catches, 80+ yards. Like, that's just me. I honestly think that's going to happen. Like, call me crazy. And the other reason why, if you're Shannon Dawson,
calling you crazy. I agree with you.
Okay, I didn't say you called me crazy. Everyone else calls me crazy, not you. And the other reason why Shannon Dawson this is a great game to attack the perimeter, is because if you look at their two cornerbacks, okay, Jerry Wilson has given up 14 catches on 20 targets by far the most on the team, for 156 yards. Okay, yeah, he has a couple interceptions, but he is picked upon very successfully by opponents on, in coverage. And then also in coverage is Jabril Rawls has allowed 9 catches on 15 for 40 yards, so not a lot. But again, you can see, especially against Jerry Wilson, like there are opportunities to beat these guys in coverage. And if Miami's getting one-on-one coverage early in the game, I hope Shannon Dawson has told Carson Beck, check out whatever the hell we're in, run a go route, a deep post, whatever the hell it is, and get a quick touchdown. And guess what that does to FSU the rest of the game, right? Freaks them out, first of all, and they've got to change things once they see you are doing that to them, right? That's defense. That's how defense coordinators work. They don't say, oh, it's a one-off, we'll just keep doing the same thing. That's not how they function. They immediately change their defense for the next series, And Miami needs to prevent FSU from attacking the middle of the box. And once they prevent that, then you attack the middle of the box again. And then once they go back to the middle of the box, you attack the outside again. That's how you have a great offense. That's how you have a diverse offense. That's how you have an attack that nobody can stop. And that's what I want to see starting in this game.
I've been looking at all the stuff that's been coming out of Tallahassee this week. And many Florida State players have all mentioned Gus Malzahn's game plan. Okay. Like this game plan that Gus Malzahn is drawing up for Corey Heatherman's defense is a rallying point up there in Seminole camp. And like I said, a lot of conversation about it, and gets you wondering, what the hell is Gus Malzahn going to roll out to try to screw up Miami? And you can count on a lot of misdirection, a lot of what they call eye candy. And what Corey Heatherman said earlier in the week is obviously going to be very critical. Their eye discipline, not losing sight of where the ball really is, and falling for all the nonsense that they're going to try to create to confuse everybody. And to me, that it's very intriguing. Like I'm really excited for this game, Matt, as we should be for a Miami Florida State game. And we've had an enormous amount of coverage all week. We have more on the website today, and you guys can check out what they've been saying on the other sideline. We've got breakdowns position by position. We have a story with the DBs talking about the challenge of Florida State's offense, and so much more. You've seen, we have our You Bet CaneSport show with Lee Sterling, where he looks at the game from a betting perspective. You've got that. What's Mario Cristobal saying here late in the week? We've got that on the website. We have our countdown to kickoff show with Noah and Dara. So much stuff on the website for you guys to sink your teeth in to get yourselves ready for this game. So make sure you check all of that out on CaneSport.com. Let's take a moment now and hear from our friends at Caneswear.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right, guys, I've been telling you about Caneswear all season long. They just got a bunch of Adidas camo gear into their store this week. That is off the chain, okay? It is really cool stuff. I encourage everybody, if you can go to the store, go to Caneswear at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. If you can't get to the store itself, go online to caneswear.com, and you'll find all that Adidas camo gear there for sale. Like I said, we saw it for the first time earlier this week, and Adidas really has outdone themselves on this stuff, and it looks really, really cool. So I think a lot of you will like that, so make sure you check them out. But Caneswear is your destination for all Miami Hurricane stuff. They have everything you could possibly want. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, polos, magnets, flags. They will even dress up your pet. I love to annoy Matt Shodell by saying that because he just can't imagine a dog running around in a cane outfit. But it is true. They even have stuff for your pets. So get on over to Caneswear at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or go to caneswear.com and check out their wide portfolio of Miami Hurricanes merchandise. You won't be sorry. Great place to stock up for your significant other, for your kids, for yourself. Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, caneswear.com. All right, Matt. So we've really talked this Florida State game into oblivion. There's really not a lot more talk to be had. If anybody didn't see the Lamar Thomas show on Wednesday night, make sure you check that out. It was really cool. Michael Irvin popped in for a while, and that's always a special time. So make sure you check that one out. Other things on the website today, we do have recruiting coverage for you with stories with Caden Henderson, Xavier Hassan. The guys will be going out to the crib tonight and bringing you additional recruiting stuff. A lot of recruits will be in Tallahassee this weekend. We've got coverage of that. We'll have continued coverage of that. So, we're getting about to the point here where it's just time to play football. And I'll be getting on a plane here later this morning and shooting up there to Tallahassee, and hope to see many of you guys out in downtown on Friday night, enjoying the great Tallahassee nightlife. Not, but anyway. So Matt, I don't know if you have any closing thoughts here or not, but just got to go up there and get it done, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is real or not, but did you see Cam McCormick, CMC brand _84 on eBay, is selling all of his gear from Miami and Oregon, like his game stuff?
Really?
I don't know if that's him or not, but like Miami Hurricanes men's football team issued long sleeve shirt 2XL for $32. I mean, I might get that and send it to you so you can wear it on the show. I don't know. I don't know if this is really him. I mean, but good for him, I guess. Make some money off stuff that you had for 10 years, right? Wasn't he on teams for 10 years? You know how many of these shirts and shoes he probably has? He wasn't like, it wouldn't even fit. The places we live, it wouldn't even fit in the house. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need it all anymore.
Wash I live in. I mean, it wouldn't even fit. So, good for him. Instead of giving it away, sell it. Sell it.
Make a few extra bucks, man.
Which brings me to this. I will be selling my used T-shirts on eBay under Not Gary Ferman 14. So look for me on eBay. All my used shirts that I wear on this show, right? All of the Gator gear that I wear will be available for all of you to purchase.
There actually is some guy out there that impersonates me like that. He goes on podcasts and
I don't know. You're not impersonating him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he's the original Gary Ferman, and you're impersonating him. But that's just it might be a conspiracy theory.
It's crazy stuff. Anyway, that's going to conclude Good Morning CaneSport for this morning. If you're not yet a subscriber to CaneSport, please head on over to our website, become a member. Your subscriptions allow us to do what we do every single day. So for Matt Shodell, I'm Gary Ferman. Thanks again, everybody. Go Canes on Saturday at the Doak, and we'll see you back on Monday morning with the show. Obviously at CaneSport.com, we will have enormous amounts of coverage of the weekend for you. Have a great day and great weekend, everybody.